Hi everyone, Cindy Olin here. How's everybody today? Oops, I'm sorry guys. My little one is talking to me in the background, so don't mind me if we get a little interruption today. Probably won't too much. He's eating his lunch because he's home from school and camp. So, I want to hop right in today about are you love avoidant? Now, many of you are familiar with attachment styles and what that means, and many of you might think, okay, I'm not love avoidant at all. I don't avoid love. I want deep connection. I want a great relationship. That's good. It might still mean you're love avoidant. So I'll get into that in a second. I would love to hear from everyone today. Let me know if you're here watching live or you're watching the replay. And yes, just let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know give me a thumbs up if you're watching live. And if you're watching the replay, just simply put replay. And I would love to hear any of your questions, comments, and I'm going to be asking you guys what you want to learn more about. So this is our last week in our Summer of Love series, and I really want to provide for you things that will help you have a breakthrough in your love life and actually invite in lasting love or create a deeper connection in the relationship you currently have. So, here's the thing about love avoidancy. What that can look like is a couple of different things. One, it can look like resistance around dating, resistance around actually being vulnerable enough to put yourself out there. And that vulnerability might look like getting on a dating app. It might look like smiling at a handsome stranger in a grocery store. It might look like beating yourself up for what went wrong in the past. So let me repeat that. It could look like something as simple as not putting yourself out there, right? So when you're out and about, maybe you're connected to your cell phone, social media, or you're time traveling in your head, like you're thinking about the past or you're thinking about the future, you're thinking about your to-do list, but you're not actually in the here and the now. You're not at the grocery store looking at the fresh, beautiful peaches or cherries, right? So if you're love avoidant, it can look like avoidance in other areas of your life. Not that this is a bad thing. It can take you down a pathway where of things that you don't want to take a look at, right? Maybe it could be anything, right? It could be it could be not wanting to look at your bank account. I can identify with that at times. Or it could be not being connected to your full purpose as far as what you desire in either relationship, your career. It could be anything, right? I was talking to a client of mine earlier today, and she's gone through this pattern of there's some love avoidancy, right? And she's just gone, she quit her old job. She's an entrepreneur now, like she's set free, and then there's this fear, right? So when the fear comes in, it's like that clenching of our chest. That's the avoidancy. Classic love avoidance, guys. What that looks like is it can look like a couple different things, but if you look at attachment styles, it looks like someone that constantly pushes away or gets close for a little bit and then avoids deep emotion or feelings because of their childhood. Now, what I'm talking about when it comes to love avoidancy, because I don't meet a lot of women that are hugely love avoidant. What I do work with a lot of women around is not being fully emotionally available to receive love. So it's one or the other. They're able to receive or they're able to give love. Hey, Lori. And you guys, let me know if you have any questions, comments. I'm here. I'm going to answer all of your questions. And please let me know. It would be really amazing to know what you want to learn more about. What do you want to learn more about today? Hey, Jolene. Good to see you on here. So when we talk about, are you love avoidant? You're resisting dating. You might even be resisting men. Maybe you get yourself to a certain degree of getting out there, and it could even simply be messaging someone, and then he asks to meet you and then you don't message back, right? Or you get to that space and then you get to that space of planning the date and then he disappears, right? And what can happen is using that one person as an excuse to hold you back from actually moving forward and continuing to get yourself out there, right? So there's that. But so getting back to my client, she was struggling with some fear, right? She's struggling with some fear of, can I really do this entrepreneurial thing? Can I really, bring in the love of my life? And her old patterning of driving and getting in the driver's seat, leading men, leading potential relationships started to take over. So she's been getting to know, I call it, some love coaches call it the man funnel. I just call it, getting to know new friends and creating more connections so that you have an abundance of options to choose from. And the right man will take you off the market. It's a different place to be in as a woman, because women, frankly, we don't usually like to be out on the hunt. We don't really like to date. And dating for us can look many, many different ways, right? But dating is simply just getting to know someone, getting to know different people, and seeing what unfolds as they're doing the work to pursue you. As they're doing the work to pursue you. I want you to remind you of that. So getting back to my client, right? So she was sharing the story how she was reaching out to this gentleman whom had started out as a friend, and then she started to have this attraction towards him, which happens, right? And so she was starting to lead, making plans. And then he started to pull back a bit, right? So he started to pull back. So they would get together. They made, a few times. And she was feeling like he was giving her mixed signals. Well, he was giving her mixed signals because he's confused about how he feels about her, because she started doing the work. And a lot of women do the work. You're going to set yourself apart if you allow him to pursue you. Even if he has other women pursuing him, he's not going to be as interested in them, because men are attracted to someone that's not too easy. And I don't mean easy as far as getting in the bedroom, but I mean easy as far as too easy to win her heart. They want to know that you're special, that they had to put effort towards you. So as they are doing the work, I'm reading this from Laurie, to pursue us, yes, simply put, we are just to get to know and observe. Yes, you are. And also, it gives you an opportunity to connect deeper with a man, to, a lot of times we stop at, he says, I really want to get married again someday. And my clients might say to me, well, he says he really wants to get married again someday. Well, great. It may or may not be to you, or, he loves kids. Okay, this is another good one. He loves kids. Okay, well, I love puppy dogs and kitty cats. I don't have any. Because it's something else I get to take care of, right? I know, I like to provide entertainment to you guys too, but what is that? Let's just say you're attached to having children at this point, right? Well, so you say you love children. Do you see yourself having them? Just get clarity around the statements they say and try not to look too deeply into things, right? Same client, and I just love her. She's so amazing, and she's broken through and, done so much work. And, by the way, this is her second year working with me, and her breakthroughs are coming. It's like a domino effect in every area of her life. She doesn't always see it, but it's true, and she knows it's working as well. But she was on a date the other night, and the gentleman kissed her on the cheek, and she said, does that mean something, right? Because as women, we start to think, we start to think that they think the way we do. We always think that something means code for something. Men are very straightforward. As women, we like to hide things, right? We hide or make ourselves look more sleek with our Spanx, right? Or I always love to talk about Spanx. Thank God for Sarah Blakely. Has anybody tried arm tights? Anyway, back on our train. But really looking at, as women, we kind of look for, well, does he mean something else by what he's saying here? No, he actually, if you ask him, especially in the beginning, he'll tell you where he's at. It's, as a woman, we get to take our time to let them come to us. We're so used to a society of instant gratification, right? 0 to 60. And it, think of, it's the only image that's coming to me today. Think of making love as opposed to, quick, like having sex, right? So think of that going more slowly and more intimately in a more sensual way. So it's the same thing when it comes to relationship development. Move slow to move faster later on. And what, ladies, I recommend you doing, if you're feeling resistance to the dating, if you're feeling resistance to what feels awkward to you because it's out of control, feel that resistance and allow and go for it anyway. Meet the guy. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? One of the things I've done in my life is I become really okay with the worst case scenario, and I become okay with the worst case scenario, and I become even more okay with the best case scenario, because 95% of our fears don't come true. But if we're having these thoughts of, I just want to avoid it, I don't want to go there, what will happen is oftentimes, you'll actually manifest that. You'll manifest lack of connections, and you will, Saved by the Bell, you will miss out on a more connective partnership. So just a couple things before I open the door and I let you guys go. And I hope this has been helpful, because I could go on for a little bit longer about this. But, you know, when my client went into that place of pursuing, hey, how are you? Because in her mind, she thought, okay, if I don't reach out, he'll forget about me, which is actually the opposite. If he's the wrong guy, yeah, he'll move on. He will forget about you. But if he's somebody that's actually charmed and enchanted and intrigued by you, he won't forget about you. So, okay, or a future topic of answer. Oh, examples of open-ended questions to get more clarity, curiosity. Oh yeah, that's a great one. Okay, we'll do that this week. Sending love. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.